Disney is in full crisis mode. Every single movie, every single TV show they released this year was a big financial failure or a complete disaster. Many had the hopes that Ahsoka could put some light into the darkness with Dave Filoni as showrunner, but this hope was unfounded from the beginning, because until the devilish mind virus of woke entertainment lives in this company, nothing will ever change. In this video I will expose the many flaws of the 2 episodes premiere, which was released yesterday. There will be minor spoilers ahead and a separate spoilers section throughout the video. To begin with, I never felt any hype for this show, not even on its day of release. 10 years ago I loved Ahsoka, growing up with Star Wars The Clone Wars and later on Star Wars Rebels. In these shows Ahsoka was charming, funny, brave and inspirational. And The Mandalorian put her in the form of Rosario Dawson in a live-action form. I was excited, but since this episode I felt that something is off, something was missing. Yesterday's premiere of the show confirmed this feeling many Star Wars fans had. We got a tough Ahsoka, a mighty warrior, but our beloved Ahsoka is gone. No smiling, no joking, no nothing. And here starts my first major criticism of the show. The adaptation from old characters of the TV shows. Besides the lackluster portrayal of Ahsoka, there's the incredible miscast of Sabine Wren and Hera Syndulla. Hera's face is washed from every charisma the animated version had, and the costume looks cheap as well. Yeah? But to address the elephant in the room, we have to talk about Sabine Wren. Since when is Sabine of Asiatic descent? Wasn't her skin color a bit darker than the brightest of whites? And what the hell happened to the character? Sabine seems like a rascal you meet on the streets in any big city of the world. There's now goofy rock music in Star Wars. Who asked for that? And like Ahsoka, she lost any of her former charisma and humor. And we haven't talked about the Jedi Apprentice part yet. Since when does a character become force sensitive without any explanation or foreshadowing?
I think I can smell shite.
Until now, every single adaptation from the animated show is a disaster and there's no improvement in sight. Same thing counts for the next major criticism. I think you know what I mean. Of course, the writing. Since Disney bought Lucasfilm, the quality of writing decreased exponentially and it found its peak in The Rise of Skywalker. A great film.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Since then, only Andor and The Bad Batch could stand out of this trend. Shows nobody watched. Ahsoka continues the negative trend with some of the poorest writing I have seen this whole year. Yeah. Let me give you an example. So, this is the point where I start with a bit of spoilering, but yeah, if you don't plan to watch the show, just continue watching this video. So, Ahsoka has to find a map that leads her to Thrawn. So, first question, why is there a map to a character who doesn't want to be found? Who put that map in a 10,000 years old temple? And if you think that sounds familiar, you're absolutely right.
The map to Skywalker. We know you found it.
So Ahsoka finds the map and brings it to Sabine to solve it, yeah? Which of course takes it to her own home, which is the former home of Ezra Bridger now. And she finds out the solution very quickly, just to be ambushed by the bad guys. What a surprise! They steal it from her, Ahsoka arrives too late, and then my favorite part of the show this far, Sabine gets stabbed in the belly. Yes, they did it again. So, next episode, Sabine is perfectly fine, the stab is already healed and she just decides to be ready for more Jedi training, because that is now how things work. Vote, you just know when they're ready, and they know too. In the meantime, the bad guys prepare to open some kind of portal to Thrawn. This portal is hidden in some space in the galaxy, and it's a giant hyperdrive ring. It looks like this, and the rebels didn't spot it yet because, yes, the plot needs it to be like this. So sometimes I could hear the characters whispering, "I am with the plot, and the plot is with me."
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Anyway, poor writing and the lack of creativity is nothing new for Disney Star Wars, so I was not surprised of that. But one thing stood out for me, and that is the lack of mystery, the lack of theories coming up in your mind. Something Star Wars always made great. The story is not only boring, you also just know what happens. I found myself watching the show with my brother, calling one plot point after another. Then he said just for fun that Sabine gets stabbed and then of course survives, and guess what happened? It is so predictable and far away from engaging. And we haven't talked about the awful dialogues yet. Imagine two people speaking with the least minimum amount of emotion and with 10 seconds between the lines. You're already asleep? Exactly.
You serious?
So what is left of the once greatest franchise of all time in the year of 2023? Not much, if you ask me. The only positive things I could find, maybe the soundtrack by Kevin Kiner, who made the soundtrack from the Clone Wars and Rebels before, and the overall satisfying visuals. So for you see that it was filmed in the volume, white landscapes just look terrible. And all that would not be that bad when there wouldn't be those overall positive ratings on platforms like IMDb. I don't know if those people have ever watched something of real quality like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos. It is sad and makes me worrying for future productions to see that there are people with such low standards. Someone even compared the show with A New Hope, the original Star Wars movie. So, to summarize, Ahsoka is another heartless, uncreative mass production, ruining another beloved character from George Lucas' galaxy far, far away. If you have not watched this show yet, I strongly recommend not to do that. Watch something else. There's so many old shows that have proven to be much better than this garbage. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment with your opinion of the show and tell me which girl boss you disliked the most. See you in the next video. Until then, remember, you are not alone with your opinion.